Hello everyone, it's Julie here at Big Lakes Dodge. Today I'll be showing you this 2018 Chrysler 300 Limited with all-wheel drive. We have the 3.6 liter Pentastar V6 engine and the 8-speed automatic transmission, so it'll be pretty good on fuel but has enough power to go fast if that's what you're looking for. For our headlamps, they are, adaptive by Xenon HID headlamps. They also have the automatic headlamp control. You can see we got our fog lamps down at the bottom there. We got our front parking sensors, so it'll help you keep your vehicle looking nice because you're not going to bump into anything. It'll alert you once you're getting too close to something. We also, they have the automatic headlamp leveling system. It does have adaptive cruise control, so I'll just quickly show you how that works. We have that little camera with the sensor up there. So that just detects your lane markings. When you are going down the highway, the lane markings do need to be visible, and it'll detect those and keep you within your lane markings and alert you if you're going outside of it. So that's really nice to have. It has some good safety features. For tires, they're 19-inch rims with a 5-volt pattern. So there's a quick look at those. I believe these ones are all seasons. Yeah, it looks like all season tires. So got all seasons on there. The mirrors are powered and heated. You can tell by that little function there. And they do have supplemental turn signals on them, so if you have your turn signals on, it'll go ahead and show that on your mirrors. We have proximity keyless entry, as well as the remote keyless entry, remote start, and the remote liftgate release. One thing with the proximity keyless entry is that you don't even need to pull out your key, so I could open this up if it's locked right now. It has little sensors behind here, so when you go and pull on the handle, as long as the key is within 5 feet of the vehicle, it will unlock. So there we go, there's a quick look at that. For our doors, we have these little accent paneling there with the silver accents, power locks, power windows, some pretty decent door pockets, so they have enough room for a drink and some snacks. For our interior, it is an all black interior besides those little accents there that are also on the dash. Seats are Napa, let me see, Napa leather faced. Yes, they are heated and vented as well as powered in the front row. So both your driver and your passenger side have these little dials here to adjust your seats. So this moves it forward, backward. This one does your back rest, and this one is your lumbar support. So it has a little thing in here that will move around to provide more or less lumbar support for you. You can kind of see it there. I'm a little shaky, so can't see it too much, but they are heated as well as vented, which is really nice for these leather seats in the summertime. When they're vented, it'll have some air that pushes through to help cool you off, so you don't get as stuck in the summertime. Got carpet floor mats in here that come out easily. They just have this little latch there to unlatch it or relatch it, so that way it doesn't move around too much, but you can take it out when need be to clean them. This is our glove compartment, so you have lots of storage space in here. We also have this little shelf here, so it has 2 compartments. One has room for your owner's manual, which has this beautiful case right there, and then ignore that. Alright, so this is our owner's guide, quick reference guide, and then we also have some warranty information in there as well. So all of that will be available for you in your glove box, as well as if you end up getting any extended warranty or such like that, you can also stick that in here, so that way you have that easily available for you. I'm struggling to put, you know what, sorry guys, you're gonna have to assist me on this one. There, okay, and that just goes on this little shelf right there. There you go, and then you have this little spot to throw things. I don't quite know what you would put there, but you have that room. Like if you have wheel locks, if you end up getting those, you could stick those there, and then still have all of your glove compartment available for you to throw tons and tons of gloves in. There's a quick look there. I'll just quickly show you that we do have the dual-pane panoramic sunroof, so we can let in lots of light. That is powered, so we have the buttons up there. I'll walk through that once we get to the driver's side. I just wanted to quickly show you the interior. We'll go on in the back and talk a bit more about back here. Alright, so this is in the rear. It is a 40-60 split bench, and they do fold down, so that way you can have access to the trunk. And how you do that is it just has this little latch here. You pull that, that comes right down. There's a look at that, and then I'll show you more how that looks because it is pretty spacious in the back, but it's hard to tell with all that shadow. But these come down, they all fold down, so if you were wanting to bring home a lot of stuff or whatnot, then you can go ahead and do that. Lift that back up. Alright, so there's there. These are leather faced as well. They are heated on, so they have the heated second row heated function, which would be this seat and that end seat, not the middle seat. But the controls for that are just located on the center console here. So we have two different settings that you can press. We have our USB port so you can charge your phone. This one is for the sunshade. So what's really cool is that I'll press this and I'll show you. That's our back window. See, oh, I did not click it properly. Well, I did test it out on the front, so maybe I'll have to wait until I'm up front to show you. Or these controls could be locked as well, but it's really cool. It has a sunshade that comes up, and I'll show it to you once I get in the front, once I can do that. But we have our vent controls, so that controls the airflow of the vents. We do also have cup holders that pull down the middle here, so if you're not needing this middle seat, you can have 2 extra cup holders. If you are a person who likes lots of drinks, that definitely comes in handy, or if you're on a long road trip. And then we also have some extra storage space right there, so you open that up, you have that extra storage space. You can close it back up and store that stuff away if you want. We do also have the child seat anchor latch system. Let me just quickly show that. So you have those there. So if you are wanting to strap a kiddo down, you have all the means to do that. But there's a look at our rear interior. We'll go on into the back area. Talk a bit more about back here. So we got the Chrysler badging, 300 badging, some really big rear headlamps, and then the rear parking sensors as well. So also when you're backing up, it'll let you know that you're getting too close to something. It also has the rear cross path detection and blind spot monitoring. So with the rear cross path detection, when you're backing out of a parking spot, say you have a vehicle on this side and a vehicle on that side, when you're backing up, it will beep to alert you if someone is coming from the side. So say someone's coming down the parking lot, you're backing up, it'll beep to let you know that they're getting too close, just to help you avoid an accident. Got the dual exhaust coming out of the bumper, if you want to have a quick look at that. It is all-wheel drive, so it just has that little badging there to show that. Got our little Big Lakes Dodge sticker on there, so you know that it's us selling it. I'm just gonna use that tailgate release. So there's a look back here at all of our cargo space. It is fairly spacious. I don't know if the video is quite doing it justice, but it is fairly spacious for a car. And then it has the interior lights on either side, so you can see what you're grabbing. It has these little hooks here, so that way if you are needing to tie something down, you can do that as well. It has this carpet floor mat, which you can lift up, bring out for easy cleaning, and then this little panel that does come up. I had some struggles earlier. I think I needed to use 2 hands in order to lift it up, but let's see if I can do it. There we go. Alright, and then in here we have our spare tire. I guess this hook is here, so you can hook it up. I never thought of that when I was doing that earlier, but you can use that hook to hold it up. You can grab your spare tire back here. So we have that. You can see our battery is here as well, which if you are needing to boost it, is good to know. But there's a quick look back here at all these that we have in our little funnel. Close. Oh, and it has a cargo net. I didn't quite pull it out, so I didn't have a good look at it. But if you are wanting to use that, that's available in here. It's just tucked away with our spare tire. You have the cargo net as well. Close that up. So there's a quick look at that. Let me just quickly think of what else I can talk about back here. We have our backup camera. Okay, let me see. You can see me checking the little sheet. So we have active transfer case with front axle disconnect. Oh, I didn't talk about that when we were up to the front. Regular braking with rain brake support. Blind spot monitoring, rear cross path detection. I didn't talk too much about blind spot monitoring, so I'll quickly go over that. So the blind spot monitoring is when you're going down the highway, you know how sometimes people will be in your blind spot, you're trying to switch lanes and then they're suddenly there. So when you're going down the highway, the blind spot monitoring can see up to 10 feet behind you and 1 lane over. So if someone is in your blind spot, it has this neat little function where it will light up your mirror, this little triangle right there, orange, to alert you, as well as I believe it pops up a message on the dash. I think it might be a little chime actually, but it does that to warn you if anyone's in your blind spot. So if you are trying to switch lanes, you're prepared for that. Advanced brake assist, it has that as well, so that just helps detect panic stops. So if you do press on the brakes suddenly, like a deer jumps out in front of you and you press on the brakes hard, it'll detect that that's a panic stop and give you maximum braking power. What else was I was going to mention? Oh, the rain sensing windshield wipers. So these are rain sensing. It also has a little sensor up there. I don't know if you can see it, but it does have a little sensor up there. And so if any rain hits that sensor, as long as your windshield wipers are on, I believe it's the second or third setting, then it will automatically wipe that away as it detects it. Alright, I feel like that's enough talking out here. So we'll move on to our rear driver's side. So our doors, door pockets, power windows, the same kind of accent paneling. Got our back seat pockets if you want to stick a book or magazine or something like that there. Got carpet floor mats in the rear as well. This one is our 60 of our 60/40 split bench, so you can pull this down and this entire space comes down together. You can see the child seat, anchor latch system there. Very roomy. Has everything you need, I feel like. But we'll move on into the driver's side because there's tons more to talk about up here. So with the fobs, you can see that we do have a keyhole. So it does have the emergency key on here as well. So it has an actual physical key. All you do is pull this. Let me see if I can do it one-handed. Usually I can. Pull this to the side, lift the key up. Maybe I can. Okay, we're gonna say no. You know what? Maybe I'll try sitting down. Hop on in here. It is a bit cold out, which makes my fingers a little weaker. I apologize for how much throwing around I am doing of the camera, but 1 second. Let me see if I can get this for you. I just quickly want to show the key. There we go. So it has a physical key which you can use to unlock the doors. So that's in case your fob ever dies. You can physically unlock it. I'm just gonna quickly turn off the fan because it's getting hot in here. And then it is a push start as well with the auto start stop, which I'll go over the auto start stop in a minute. But for our push start, if the fob ever does die, it kind of alerts you on your dash to tell you to change the batteries. But if ever you ignore that and your fob dies while you're on the road, you can still start your vehicle. It does have a little override system, so you hold the key fob to the start button and it will start it anyways despite a dead key fob. Okay, also with it having the remote start, you can also set it to have auto comfort features. So when you do remote start it, it can automatically turn on the climate control to set it to a comfortable setting. So if it's cold out, it'll turn the warm on. If it's hot out, it'll turn the cold on. But that's just adjustable in your infotainment center. We'll go over our door quickly here. So we do have the power mirrors. So adjusting them, you use these little, you have to select left or right, and then you can just adjust it like that. The heated mirror function turns on when you turn on your rear window defroster, and that'll turn on that, and it'll help with fogging in the rain or getting that little layer of frost off that happens in early winter. So that's just nice to have. For power locks, power windows, this just locks the windows so that way no one else can use the functions for that. With the power driver seat, we have the driver memory setting. That's pretty easy to set up, and it's really handy for when you're switching between drivers a lot. So say your hubby, I'm saying hubby because I'm a woman, if you know the husband has long legs, wife has short legs, and you're switching between those a lot, it kind of takes a while to adjust it. You have to sit there and then adjust it manually. Or if you're trying to get in after someone has short legs, you kind of can't squeeze in. This comes really handy at that point. So setting it up, all you do is hit your driver memory setting, the S, So you hit that, and then you hit which setting you want once you have it all set up. So I'd adjust my seat, make sure it's comfortable, click S, and then click 1, and it'll remember that setting. And then the next person would click the 2. And then all you do when you hop in is you click that 1, and it'll go right there. So that's really, really handy to have. We have the trunk release right there as well. This one is for adjusting the brightness of your headlamps. This is for the headlamp setting, so right now it's on auto. It will kind of use your daytime lights or whatnot, switch between those as needed. But you can also automatically put them on this way, turn them off. But all of that's right there for you. Then we have our emergency brake down there, our park brake I mean. So you would go ahead and push that to turn it on. For adjusting your steering wheel, you would use this little, so it is telescopic. It can pull forward, move back, move up or down. I've moved it all the way up because I just thought that was a comfortable setting. And then we have our rocker switches on the back, which this side does your tuning. So if you're wanting to switch songs or switch radio stations, you could use this one easily. I believe it switches between your presets, but kind of depends on how you have it set up. Over on this side, because we have 2 rocker switches on this side, this one does your volume control. So if I were to press that, it would do volume up, volume down. I don't know why it's not working. Oh, because we didn't have our audio on. Okay, and then all these little buttons on our steering wheel. This one controls your driver information display. So we have a pretty cool cluster on there. It has some blue lights, so it looks really cool. But we're just going to quickly go over the driver information. So right now it is on our speedometer. I'm just going to scroll down with these arrows here, and then we can see our vehicle information like our tire pressure, coolant temp, all that kind of stuff right there. Scroll down further, we see our driver assist. So it does have the adaptive cruise control and the lane sense, which I pointed out is that sensor up there. So it'll detect your lane markings. It'll kind of show right there, and it'll show the lane lines, and it'll light up if you are starting to go outside of that. For our adaptive cruise control, the controls for that are just right here. So when you do have your cruise control set up, you can set the distance from the vehicle ahead of you, and it'll help you stay within that distance. Really handy to have, because you know when you're barreling down the highway and you, like if you're on your way to Calgary, I'm in a little town in Prairie. If you're on your way to Calgary on that big road out there, it gets super busy, and sometimes you're having to brake or like speed up and stuff to keep up with the vehicle ahead of you. So it just helps you have one less thing to worry about. Scrolling down, fuel economy, you can track your average fuel economy right there, see how good of fuel mileage you're getting. This is our trip information, so our trip A and trip B, you can track those right there, all the information for that. Our audio, which you can have, so that way you're not having to look over every time you're changing the song, making sure it's on the right radio station or the right song. It'll show up right here so you can view what is playing. That also will connect, like if you have your Bluetooth connected, it'll show what's playing on there as well. Messages, so this is for if any codes pop up, like a check engine or you know, change your oil, whatnot, that will show up here to view later on, which is really handy. Screen setup, so we have these little things in the corners. This one has our fuel range, temperature. Those are adjustable. So when we click OK to set it up, it'll let you select which area and kind of highlights it a little bit for you that you're wanting to adjust. And then you can go ahead and click OK, and it'll give you the options of what you can have there. So yeah, again, super handy to have, so that way you can set it up the way that you like for the information that you want handy. That's right there. I'm just going to turn off our cruise control. And then I'm going to go back, continue scrolling down, and we're back to our speedometer. One thing to keep in mind is right now it's on kilometers per hour. If you click OK, it'll go to miles per hour. So if you are needing to switch between that, if you accidentally bump it, all you do is click OK again. Alright, then we have our voice recognition, our call answer, call end. Over here we have our regular cruise control, which when you activate it, it keeps you at the same speed. So when you're going down the highway, if you're wanting to stay at 100 kilometers per hour, you go ahead and set it at that, and then you click the up or down if you want to set your speed higher or lower. This one is to cancel it in case like you're coming up on a town and you're not wanting to go 100 kilometers per hour anymore. You go ahead and cancel it and take over control of that with the pedal. and then reset, I think is what this one is. But what happens is when you click the cancel, it'll still remain engaged, your cruise control, but it's not gonna be active. So when you click that, it'll reactivate, and then you'll go back to up to 100 kilometers per hour. So that's good to know how all of that works. We do have our Chrysler badging here, the double stitching. What else? We'll move over here to our infotainment center. It does have a little analog clock up here, I guess for aesthetics. I'm not too sure, but we have our infotainment center, which is the Uconnect 4 with navigation. So it is a little bit of an older system, since it is 2024 and this one is a 2018, but it is still a good system. So we go over here, we have our AM, FM radio and our Sirius XM radio, as well as our presets, which you can adjust your presets here. All you do is hold it and it'll set it there. It already has one set to the 530, so you can go ahead and adjust your presets, and when you're tuning, it will switch between those for you. You can browse the different radio stations and all that good stuff. For our other media, you can connect through Bluetooth, USB, auxiliary ports, so all of those options are available to you, and then you would see the media that's playing right here. Climate control, so this is just keeping our climate on the interior at whatever temperature you want it to be. You use this little thing, it is a touchscreen, so you can use this little dial here in order to adjust it. These ones are your different modes. Your heated and vented seats, as well as your heated steering wheel, are right there. I believe when you click it, it takes you to the controls where you can go between these. So again, heated seats provides the heat to the seat, so that way you're nice and toasty warm in the winter time. Vented seats are really nice for summertime, so if you're not wanting to get stuck to your leather seats, you click that on. It'll have some airflow coming through the perforation in the seat, and then what that does is that helps cool you off so you're not getting stuck. Heated steering wheel, and now I'll show you the rear sunshade. So we click that, and back there, that's that sunshade going up, so that'll help block out a little bit of the sunlight if it's too much for you. Really handy for kids, because I swear they always think that you can stop the sun, so that comes in handy at that point. We have our automatically dimming rear view mirror, so if anyone's brightening you, it will dim automatically. The only time it won't kick in is when you're in reverse, because it knows you need that extra visibility while you're backing up, and then you can go to the settings to kind of adjust those auto climate controls and stuff like that. This is our Uconnect app, so it has everything that the vehicle has right here on these handy little pages. So you can kind of go through that. It also has a vehicle user guide built in that you can view. But yeah, this is just to go through everything that it has there. And then our navigation. So this would be your maps and whatnot. You can set your different destinations. You can set home and work, so it will remember those destinations. And you can also play with the settings. Like, I'm pretty sure that you can adjust the navigation, like accent of the person and stuff like that. So kind of just fiddle with it. And then your phone page, which would be where you connect your Bluetooth. You would decide which device is active. I believe it also has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So when you do have those connected, you'll see your phone interface here, so that way you can see your messages, your phone calls, whatnot. But that's our infotainment center. We'll move down to our physical buttons for all of those. So we do have the buttons for the climate control, front and rear window defrosters. This dial right here is for our fan settings. You can also click it to auto, so that way it'll automatically adjust the fan settings as needed to keep it at the temperature that you set. We have our AC, our air circulation. This one is our lane sense, which is currently off. When we click it on, it'll start detecting those lane markings with that sensor behind there, and then keep you within that. Our parking sensors, so if you say you're taking your car into the tall grass, you just pull off, you're at an event, and you know, sometimes in these rural areas you have to park on the grass. So if the long grass is setting that off too often and you know you're not going to bump into anything, you can turn that off here, and it'll just also show up on your driver information screen just to show you that it is off. Then we have our traction control, mute, screen off, and our hazards. So those are volume control and our tuning right there. So all of that handy if you like the physical feel of it. We have this secret little hidden compartment here where you can throw things there, and then a 12-volt DC port, so that's just like your car chargers. You can plug in a car charger there. I did say I was going to get back to this, so this is our auto start stop. It will turn the engine off if you are stopped at a stoplight or whatnot. That's supposed to save you fuel, cut back on emissions. It's usually not too noticeable. Sometimes you will hear your engine shut off if your vehicle's quiet, like if you don't have any music and stuff playing like that. You'll hear it kind of turn off, and then once you let go of the brake, it turns back on. So nothing really too much to worry about. This is our gear shifter here. It is the dial, and you can switch between all of these. This little thingy here, I feel like that's a good spot for a pen, but really it's up to you. We have our cup holders in the middle here, which do have a little lid, so if you aren't wanting to see those, if you want it to look nice and neat, you're trying to press somewhere, you know, you can go ahead and close that up and then open it back up when you need to use the cup holders. I had the key sitting in here, so I'm just going to throw that back in there. In our center console, we open this up and we have a wireless charger here. So that's what this is. So you go ahead and set your phone there and it'll charge wirelessly as long as your phone has that function. Then we have our 12-volt DC port, so you can plug in another car charger there. So those are USBs and our auxiliary port. So that's that. Also a bit of space for storing things. Looking upward, we have our dual-pane panoramic sunroof. So very big. If you want to go stargazing, you know, lean back your seats and look at the stars, you could do that. The functions for that are right here. So if you are wanting to open it up a little bit to add a little bit of ventilation, or even open it up all the way, you can go ahead and do that, as well as the sunshade. Like this one controls the shade. You can go ahead and open and close that right here, and pretty easy. Then in the middle, these little 1, 2, 3, that's our universal home remote. So that would be what you would connect your garage door to, or if you have a gate. I believe it can also connect to home security systems and such like that, or your lights. So you can go ahead and set that up there. It's a pretty simple process. If you're really struggling with it, you can look up some YouTube videos and that'll help walk you through it. Then we have our interior lights, our little sunglasses holder, and then on our rear view mirror, we actually have our assist and SOS buttons. So this is your roadside assistance, and then the SOS, of course, calls the emergency services in case of an accident. We have our vanity, well, our sun visor with a vanity that has the lights on it, and then it also has this little extendo thing. I forget what they call it, but it can extend out. So when you pull it like this, you can go ahead and extend that just to help block out a little bit more light if it's not long enough. Let me just have a quick look at my sheet. I feel like I've talked about just about everything. So power, backlight, sunshade. Oh yeah, I went over that. Uconnect 4. Oh, the Uconnect system is an 8.4 inch display. Nope, I think we're good. All right, I'll wrap this up. There's one more final look at the interior. Super cute, super fancy. If you want to feel like, you know, you want to ride around in luxury, I feel like this is the car for you, that's for sure. So there you go. One more look at the interior and exterior. If you have any questions or you want to take it for a test drive, feel free to give us a call at Big Lakes Dodge. We're always happy to help. Now, see you in the next one.